Yesterday I was unmedicated, and I have not taken any meds this morning. Not only did last night, while I was out on walkies unmedicated, remember what I was thinking about on my previous medicated day.
Though nothing will keep us together, we could steal time just for one day. We can be for forever and ever. What do you say?
Well, howdy, nearly senior citizen here. Greetings, boys, girls, and all of our non-binary friends, and welcome to this, a day in which I have become overly warm already. It was cool this morning when I came into the room, and then I rearranged the stuff on the shelves for my daily shelf rearrangement thing, and because of all the activity, I have been overly warm. So, yay. I heat up quickly. I mean, I weigh about 200 pounds. You know, I'm carrying too much weight, but I'm 5'11", so I'm not obese anymore, but I am pretty big, and that's a bit of insulation there. I mean, I was down to 160 pounds before, and I looked skeletal, like I had been in a concentration camp. So I need some meat on my bones, just not a ton. And of course, hey, front loading of videos. If you could toss me a like, that'd be very cool. If you could subscribe to the channel, if you haven't, that'd be awesome. If you could leave me a comment, that'd be very cool. And of course, I would like to thank each and every one of my Patreon patrons. These literally beautiful and literally awesome people are in fact literally beautiful and literally awesome. They help to keep me and my pets alive. I'm hoping to get this list updated as soon as possible. I have horrible executive dysfunction, and it is terrible trying to fight through it. But these are beautiful people. They deserve better. If you would like to become a beautiful person, there are links in the show more to the Patreon. And if you'd like to help me out without becoming a patron, there's a link to a PayPal. And if you'd like to help me out without even sending money, there's a list to an Amazon wish list link with stuff like cat food on it. Yay! Front loading of videos over. Thumbs up for that. I have all sorts of elaborate hand movements, don't I? I have talked with my hands all my life, and since in the past year, I have discovered one of the reasons I do this is, so now I watch the stuff I do with my hands even more than I used to. Thumbs up for that. Oh boy, I actually slept last night, but I got to bed so late. It was 1 o'clock in the morning. So by the time I fell asleep, it was after 1:30. 5 o'clock, I woke up-ish. I went and reset my alarm because I didn't want to get up at 5:30. I was awake at 5. Normally that would get me up at 5:30. I just thought, no. Reset the alarm, rolled over, got another hour's worth of sleep, so I'm behind. Thumbs up for that. And of course, oh joy, here we are, Wednesday. It's been almost 1 full week now that they've been saying, we're going to come inspect. And they haven't been able to yet. So for almost a full week now, one of my housemates has been living out at the other place. The other housemate has been popping in and out just to see and grab stuff and do things and the like. I've been living here trying to not live, and there's stuff I gotta clean up in here already and such, just because I'm alive, I'm doing things. And they haven't been able to come by and do this walkthrough. Now, of course, the walkthrough is because I'd mentioned before we had a leak now. There has been a leak in the rental house, and so they've had people come in, they've torn out part of the ceiling down in the living room. It was supposed to be repaired, and over the weekend, I put a bucket underneath it because it's been dripping down into the living room still. Now, this has been leaking slowly for ages in the house here. They're apparently going to have to replace, like, the bathtub, that's the word, and the upstairs bathroom here that's attached to a master bedroom that I don't have. That's what the couple has. So they may be having to they're going to have to replace the entire bathtub because that's what's leaking. The whole setup. Now the problem, of course, is that's been leaking for a very long time, possibly even before we started renting here. My two housemates have been mentioning how they breathe a lot better now that they're out at that one relative's house. So the inside of the house here, especially in that area, could be filled with mold, in which case, yeah, they're breathing better, because if there's black mold or any other kind of mold growing in there, the air here is filled with mycotoxins, which would be why my lungs are so bad on some days and not on others. It might not have anything to do with the weather and everything to do with the leak inside the house. If they have to do a lot of work to replace and such, then that means they can't do the work while we live here. I don't know where we're going to go if they have to move us out to either fix it or say, oh, we can't fix this. We're just going to have to get rid of it. So, there's all this joyous stuff on top of the fact that I still can't get hold of SSI, so I have no idea what's going to happen. I have no ideas whether or not I'm going to still have Social Security or if I'm going to become homeless here very soon. So, we got the whole house in waiting, possible mycotoxins, possibly having to be relocated because of damage to the house. There's a lot of stuff on my mind, and even under normal circumstances, I have troubles dealing with the world because of my mental issues. This has been one hell of a lot of pressure here, with me trying to just survive underneath all this. And while other people might be able to say, well, that doesn't sound that bad. Well, that's nice. I'm glad that you don't have ADHD. I'm glad that you are not an autistic person. I'm glad that you don't have to rely on routine and habit, and having your routine and habit disrupted just destroys you. So I'm glad you don't have to deal with that. I do. So joy. And mental issues, like other issues, mental issues are just as strong and powerful as any other type. It's like, once I know that I have executive dysfunction that makes it difficult, if not impossible, to do some things during some times, during some situations, you'd say, hey, you know that means that you can work around it and get stuff done. Well, it's like, okay, same thing. Well, you've got no legs below the knees, and you're in a wheelchair, but you know you are, so that means you can work around it. So just get up out of the chair and walk up the stairs. Just do it. Just get up and walk up the stairs. You know why you have troubles, why you can't walk up the stairs, so fix the situation and walk up the stairs. It doesn't work. You can't just grow legs and go up the stairs, now can you? And if they've made no accommodations of any sorts for somebody who has no legs, how you going to get up those stairs in that wheelchair? Just because you know you have the problem doesn't automatically fix the problem. Yeah, I've got a horrible executive dysfunction, and I know it. Just because I know it doesn't mean that it's gone. That just means that I know why the great big concrete walls that I can't climb over are in front of me. Now the walls aren't a mystery anymore. They're still walls I can't climb over, but at least I know why they are there. Life is fun. But let me check out the rest of my list here. There's not a whole lot, but one of the things that I did notice is not being medicated versus being medicated. The day prior to yesterday, 2 days ago, I had gone out walkies, had been medicated. Couldn't remember a single thing that I had thought of that day. Yesterday, I was unmedicated, and I have not taken any meds this morning. Not only did last night, while I was out on walkies unmedicated, remember what I was thinking about on my previous medicated day, I just woke up this morning and went, oh yeah, and started thinking about it instantly. I'm thinking better when I don't take Strattera than when I do. The only thing that the Strattera is doing right now is nothing, making me fall asleep. I've become more time blind because I'm falling asleep. That breaks the medication. So I'm not taking it now. I've got to call my med manager. I don't know what I'm going to do. So just wanted to mention though, And also, the thing that I had been thinking of, so I'm going to talk about that for at least a while now. I had been trying to be creative still, but I can't push my creativity, I have to follow it, which is kind of annoying, but still it works out. What I had been thinking of, my mind had been drifting and ticked, attached itself back onto, I can come up with English words, I'm an English speaker, had attached itself once again to the idea of the Department of Government Resources, a building in the fictional town of Brookerton, South Carolina, which in the context of this story is like one of the state seats. It's not the capital, but it's like one of the state seats of county power, which is why they have a large government service there, because Brookerton is also a large city. But everything has been consolidated, government services, into the one building, and every single ringing county around this county, of which there are actually 7, unfortunately for them, each one of them is also being affected by the Department of Government Resources. Because if you are new, I'm going to explain this, and if you aren't, here's a recap. The Department of Government Resources is an existential horror that was not created on purpose. Nobody planned it. Nobody designed it. Nobody built it to be this way. It was a synchronicity of events where everything worked in serendipity. There was an adherent of Kadiron, a cultist of Kadiron, one of the cosmic horrors, that worked in government decades back. Was not planning anything evil, but there needed I'm being dive bombed by a bug. I hate that. They go right for my face, and that's exactly what it did. But let's see if I can remember that now. They needed space. They needed a new building, a new lot, a new facility. They called out and contracted to get that done. The people that they contracted with just randomly were more adherents of Kadiron. Now, why would so many adherents of Kadiron be involved in all of this? Well, Kadiron is, in cosmic horror terms, a mindless, endlessly eating worm, chewing its way throughout all of reality and the universes in the multiverse. Endless, mindless, just forward consumption. Perfect for capitalism, especially our hyper-capitalistic society here in the US. Endless, mindless consumption. Perfect for adherents of Kadiron. And not only do you get to be in power and do things to get others to consume mindlessly, but you also just have to do business. Part of being an adherent is capitalism, and that means getting contracts and doing work. So a lot of these evil organizations are just, well, they're being capitalistic, because just being capitalistic is doing what Kadiron wants, and so by just plain doing business, you're doing Kadiron's work. Endless and mindless consumption. So a lot of these organizations are the things that ended up getting the contracts. And it's an adherence of Kadiron that got the architectural designing, adherence of Kadiron to do the engineering designing, more adherence of Kadiron that won the contract bidding to become the contractor and subcontractor for the building of the whole place. And not only that, built and designed during the decades of growing anti-government paranoia, and on top of that, the land that they bought and then built on top of was sour, bad land. People didn't like to go there. It was still in the middle of the city because the city was expanding, of course, but people don't like to go there. And so it was cheap. And so they bought it and started building on it. All these things came together. And an existential / cosmic horror is a being, object, location, or situation existing in a fashion that we cannot understand. Doing something or simply existing in a fashion that we cannot comprehend. with little or no interest in human life or safety. If you can fulfill those three commitments there, you are a cosmic and or existential, which is more minor, still fulfills all the requirements, except it's not an existence-ending threat. It's just a few people's existence-ending threat. Except this thing, not being designed and not being alive, is just a place. And that's why you don't like to go there. Everybody's going to have a bad day when they go to the department. Everybody is going to have a bad day. 90% of the people there are going to have a terrible day. 10% of those people are going to end up with temporal damage. But of those 10%, 90% are just going to have minor temporal damage. Only 10% are going to have major temporal damage. 90% of those are going to be okay, but 10% of those are going to be so badly damaged, and the department is going to be so horrific a place that you never see them again. They enter the building, they don't come out. The Department of Government Resources is an existential horror that nobody even realizes is there. It's not even a thing with a mind. It's not an actual threat. It doesn't want to grow and build. If you even think of it, if you're in these counties or anywhere, thinking of it gets a connection to you, from you to it. And if you think about the place, that little connection will buzz. And there is a field, a Dunning field that comes around this place. And when the field starts to affect you, you lose your ability to think critically, and you lose your ability to remember things well. You lose your ability to really focus and concentrate. Everything feels dreamlike. Your brain itself just starts producing more dreamlike waves that you would normally get during sleep or dreaming. You're not dreaming, you're just entering a much more wild state, so you forget stuff. It's just everything is And then when you wake up the next day, you've forgotten what you were thinking about. The Department of Government Resources. And I've opened up 24 hours worth of comments on my community tab. I'm going to go through and thank how many people have left me comments in the past 24 hours. If I mispronounce the username, no disrespect is intended. And even though I can't American Sign Language, well, you already know how my brain works. Which I'm actually doing better than if I'd medicated myself. So, yay! Adrian, thumbs up and thank you. I cannot see at all this morning. My eyes just will not focus at the distance from here to the monitor. Jesse Koskinen, good to see you in the comments. And thumbs up, and oh boy, the USA. We have TM_Cloudfire, thumbs up and thank you. There is Joe Poe. Oh, I'm so very sorry about the generalized anxiety disorder. It sucks. Kryptonite, thank you very, very much for the comments. Good to see you in the comments as well. Winged Bee Goddess, thumbs up and thank you. Ben B, good to see you in the comments and thank you. We have Griff. I can't tell. I cannot focus my eyes this morning. Griff, thumbs up. There's Nation Scrub 0 with a whole bunch of digits instead of vowels. And then there's the Rudest spelled R-H-U-D-E-S-T. And that is it. 9 people who left me comments in the past 24 hours. I need to cough. Mycotoxins for the win. You get me out of my head, into the world and dealing with real people. Thumbs up. I'm feeling it bad today. Joy. I'm just so congested and hacky and wheezy. Gotta love that. Anyway, though, thumbs up and thank you, each and every one of you. I still gotta try and get phone calls done. Executive dysfunction really blows. It does. It's awful. I'm gonna do what I can do, but with the weight of everything that's just happening in this house, it's crushing my ability to even do more than breathe. Yay. Still, though, hopefully you can get done the things that you would like to get done. Survival mode is important, though. Do what you have to do to get through the day. And with the covfefe bug still out there a-raging, please just take your precautions for your area. You don't want to get this. It's still out there. People are still getting it. So please be careful. Get vaxxed. Get boosted. Wear a mask when it's smart. You don't want to toss your body onto the corpse pile before your end of life. You don't want to end of life early. You don't want to end up with the long Kofefe bug that is so far plaguing so many people. So just be smart and be careful. Thumbs up for that. So, until we meet again, you take care. Have a great day today. I will see you on the flip side, and that is a very good thing.